Hey guys, how you going? Thanks for stopping by and checking out my video. For those that don't know me, I'm Dale Ryan, and I help highly motivated parents to break free from the daily grind through the crypto industry so they can have a life of freedom and abundance, whether the market moves up, down, or sideways. And today I've got something pretty exciting I'd like to show you guys. One of my absolute favorite trade setups is the ascending triangle. I'll show you a snippet from my trade plan, which is exactly how I trade these. So I look for these conditions every time I find one of these patterns. That way I can be consistent and I can make sure that I'm always getting the correct setup as per my trade plan. So the things that I look for, right, I've got 6 things mainly that I need to see to be able to take an entry on an ascending triangle. So I need the current trend to be bullish. I look for price to squeeze into the corner. I want the market structure prior to the triangle to be bullish. I want lower highs at the uptrend line. Strong momentum candle close through resistance, and profit to be taken before the next resistance with a minimum of a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So we'll have a look at those things. So the first thing you can see here, I've drawn in my higher highs and my higher lows, my higher high and my higher low. So this is my proof of bullish momentum prior to the ascending triangle. And the reason that I want this, that I want to see that we're bullish prior, is because higher probability is that we will continue in the same direction that we were in prior to the consolidation. So I want to give that probability to myself. Now, the second thing that I look for is we're going to see this resistance line here, all right? So I want to see multiple bounces off the resistance, each time bouncing to a higher low. So you can see here we've come up and we've bounced back down, okay? And we've gone up and we've hit that resistance, we've pushed down again and we've gotten another higher low. We've pushed up, we've gotten another higher low. And you can just see that although price keeps on testing that resistance line, but it doesn't fall away quite as far. So that shows that the buyers are coming in and stepping in a lot quicker than what they were previously. So the way I like to think of this is that price is coming into this corner and going to squeeze. And I really think that that squeeze, if you think of it like pressure, so there's a lot of pressure all angling up into that spot. So the question is, it's got to break. The question is, which way does it break? And that's why we look for those probabilities with that bullish market structure and that sort of thing. So back to that chart, and you can see how I've set up my take profit and my stop loss. So my stop loss needs to be below 2 levels of structure. So what I mean by that is it needs to be below either a candle or a candle wick or a resistance line or a trend line. It needs two different items that it needs to be below in able to take that trade. So in this case, we've gone with the previous resistance level. So we broke through here, and that's the resistance level and the bottom of the entry candle wick. So you can see just there, we've got that candle wick. So I've gone just below those two. So that satisfies that criteria. Now, my take profit is below the next resistance. And here you can see I haven't been greedy. I've gone for my 2-to-1 trade. Now, I'll have all this set up and I'm just waiting on one thing, okay? And that one thing that I'm waiting on is this candle. I want to see a bullish momentum candle break through that resistance line. So I want to see that there is strong momentum there. If there's a wick like this, I would not take that entry because that's showing that the sellers are stepping in. But you can see here the wicks have gotten smaller and smaller, and then there's no more wicks, which means that that selling pressure has disappeared. We've been able to push through that resistance zone and have a close above. So there is no more selling pressure there. When we look for that bullish momentum candle, we do want to have a little bit of size to it, but there's a critical factor that you need to consider. And that is that you don't want that candle to close too far past the resistance line. So what I mean by that is that candle's just closed just here, which has meant that we've still been able to get a nice entry and get our 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If this candle had a close halfway up here, we are really close to that next resistance line. So there's probably not going to be a trade there. So you might have done all your due diligence, had it all set up, ready to go, and then the candle closes up here and you don't get a 2-to-1 trade. You're just going to leave that trade. And that's fine, because there will be plenty more trades coming. Thanks, guys.